everybody. My name is LaBecca Hyatt from River Life Family Worship Center, and welcome to Testimony Tuesdays. We would just like you to join us each week to hear what God is doing in our lives. Here's this week's testimony. Dan Crow, and he's going to give you his testimony.
Yeah, thank you, LaBecca. To me, a testimony is a declaration of the transformative power and the transformative work that he's done inside me. To take that transformation and use it to try to show others how they can also be transformed. My story starts back, as a child. I grew up in a family. We were all good people, really good people, a lot of love, well known in the community. Christianity was not a part of our family. My dad worked, my mom stayed home, took care of myself. And then I didn't realize at the time, because I thought I was happy, which I was. I was happy with my childhood. Did good in school, went on to college, got my degree, did the whole work deal and got a family going, and I think all along I just had a missing puzzle piece. If I had to title my testimony, it'd be the missing puzzle piece, or the void. There was a void in my life all along, and I didn't know about, because I was trying to fill that void with the things of this world, and I was filling it with the education, the jobs, the money, the personal relationships with everybody, and I had a lot of good people around me. I had tons of good support. I didn't think I was missing anything because I was happy. I was happy in this world. I think the world finally got to me. I think everything in this world, it can give you happiness, but only for a short time. Or it could be a long time, but I think eventually it runs out. The happiness, the power runs out. We were made by God. We were created by God. We were made in His image. We were made to have that relationship with God and with Christ, and when we don't have that, we have that void. I found that out because I filled my life with everything else. I got to the point where I had filled it with everything that I knew, so I eventually turned to alcohol. I developed a pretty bad problem with alcohol. As everything else in this world, it made me happy, but as I said before, for a short time, and it didn't have that power I needed. I thought it did. It was just one more thing I was trying to fill that gap with. And like everything else, the happiness eventually ran out. The bad thing about the alcohol was not only did the happiness run out, but it was also taking things away from me. And I finally got to the point where I had to go find help. I tried to get help for the alcohol with things of this world as well, and they were blessings. I talked with a psychologist, but I kind of got out of that when I put into it. I was like, I don't have a problem with with my mind or anything. So I sat and talked to him, but I didn't put much into it, so I didn't get much out of it. I think overall he helped me. I tried, if I quitting by myself, I tried other things, but nothing really was able to help me quit. Until I went to AA. Well, the first few weeks I went to AA, I still tried to do it on my own. I'd go to the meeting, I'd talk with people, and that did help, but I'd leave the meeting and that, that power would last for a couple days, but then I'd turn right back to the alcohol, and I went right back to what I thought was going to make me happy. So I broke down and admitted at one of the meetings that, hey, I'm coming here and talking to you guys, but I'm still drinking. You haven't found that higher power, have you? And I hadn't. So I just, thought I would pick a church here in Albia and go to it. And luckily, the first church I found, I walked through the doors, and it was just, that was the missing puzzle piece. Just the peace I felt. I felt that peace just wash over me. And it really helped that Pastor Brad was just amazing, as far as being very welcoming. And I found him to be very relatable. I really got a close relationship with him really fast, and he taught me so much about the relationship I should be having with the Lord that I'd never even thought of or never had anybody tell me about. So I got a lot of credit to give to him and the wonderful people that come here. And you know, as I said, growing up in a family where the Lord is not a part of it, you don't know any of the truths, but you know a lot of the stereotypes. A revengeful God, you know, if you mess up, he's gonna, you know, you're gonna go to hell because he's gonna get you. Or if you cuss, or, you know, if you sin at all, you're gonna, you know, that was what was in my mind. That was my stereotype of the Lord. All I'd known about was the 10 Commandments, and, you know, I thought, well, if you break any of them, you're done, dead for good, you know, because he was going to get revenge on you. Getting into this church, which is a Bible-based church, teaches so strongly on the Word. I started slow, and I've been coming here 4.5, almost 5 years, and I'm still a baby. I'm still, you know, I've made progress, but I don't, you know, I'll never stop learning. I'll never want to stop learning. I learned the importance of the fellowship, the strength you can get from that. It's all been that missing puzzle piece that I was trying to fill with other stuff of this world. But the stuff of this world pass away, as it says in the Bible. The Lord and the people that have a relationship with Him, that's where it's at. I stay humble, and that's something, you know, that I've lost a lot of things in my life that I needed to lose. I've lost part of my selfishness. I'm still working on that part. I've got humility. You know, I realize that I don't control this world. You know, that the Lord controls this world. You know, I've become humble. I've had to ask. I've learned that I can't do nothing on my own. I'm nothing without the Lord. So I've learned to humble myself and ask Him for help, and, you know, ask Him to bring other people to me, and to bring people, you know, take me to people that I can help out as well. My wife and myself, we attend the Bible college that they have through this church. We're going into our 5th year, and I've learned so much through there. Still got a lot to learn. I've just learned so much about what Christianity is about. It's not just reading the Bible and coming to church. It's serving, and that wanting to serve. I'm on fire now. I want to serve. I want to evangelize. You know, I want to spread the word. I just recently, I'm now finishing my 2nd week as a substance abuse counselor. So, I mean, you know, I look back, and yeah, my drinking was horrible, but I always think, where would I be? You know, and I think it was the Lord. The Lord was always with me all through my life. I just wasn't with Him. But now I'm with Him, and He's with me, and we make a good team, you know, and I'm going to serve Him. I'm going to look to Him for guidance and that power I need, and that's what's guiding me down my path now, and I look to that. So if I can cry out to anybody out there that's watching this right now, I know it's tough. It takes some opening up, you know, to admit that we need the Lord. So I know it's not easy to, first of all, just come through the doors or talk to anybody about it, but, you know, if you see me out somewhere and want to talk about it, I'm more than welcome to talk to you. The doors here are so welcoming. There's nobody here that judges, and that's why I'm still here. This was the first church my wife and I chose to come to just to check out. We were going to check every single one around town, and this is the first one we picked, and we're still here 5 years later. So that's how awesome this church is. They're very welcoming and willing to work with you on growing your walk with the Lord. I suggest to anybody out there to come try this church out if you haven't, and we will do everything we can to make it welcoming and teach about the Lord. So thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week for this testimony, and join us next week for an all-new testimony. And if you guys don't have a home church, please join us here at the River on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Thank you!